ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch, Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch, Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Taj. Of course, V is not here, so you know what that means. It's another segment, day 2. After you guys reviewed my postpartum video, I have gotten so many emails on please do the miscarriage video. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna do the miscarriage video. I haven't talked about it much. It was something that me and my husband, we just, kind of kept, in between us. So, but hey, let's talk, guys. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Make sure your post notification bell is on, so when we get a new video posted, it will go bing on any of your devices, mobile or iPad, whatever. You'll get the notification, okay, if your notification bell is on. So we love you guys, and I am seeing your requests. It might take me a little bit to get to it, but hey, as long as I get to it, guys, I'm watching and I'm reading. So here's the requested video. Let's talk about miscarriage. So are you guys ready? Let's get into the video. Alright, guys, so listen. This is what happened, and before I start this video, miscarriages happen differently. What I experienced, you might not even experience. You might not even be miscarrying. You might be having a baby still with these symptoms. I mean, I heard people, had some of the symptoms of miscarriage and actually delivered a healthy baby. Every pregnancy, everything is different, okay, guys? So listen, this is what I dealt with. So this is how the first one started. It was with twins. Me and my husband, well, I was pregnant with twins, okay? And so what happened is that I was at work, and so I'm really irritated. I didn't understand why I was irritated. My back was in so much pain. I didn't understand that. I thought it was just from the pregnancy being, irritated, and I thought from being at work, because pharmacy is a very stressful job, and so I'm thinking I'm just being irritated from just being at work. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home because I'm in pain, and now I'm feeling like really crampy. So I'm like really cramping up, and so my stomach is in knots, my back is in pain. So I'm leaning over the counter, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to lose my mind because I'm feeling like kind of just out of it. I didn't understand it. Of course, it's my first baby. I'm not even knowing what like miscarrying really is. I don't know what a miscarriage is because I never had it. It's my first baby. So I'm sitting there, I'm in lots of pain, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's from the pregnancy. I'm ready to go home. So finally, it was time for me to go home, and that seemed like it took forever to get to 3 o'clock. So once I get to 3 o'clock, I'm walking out, and as I'm walking out and getting to the car, I'm just like kind of laid back and holding my stomach because I'm like, oh my God, I'm like really feeling crampy. I didn't understand it. So I'm sitting there, and now I begin to drive. As I begin to drive, and it was quite a long distance from where I lived and where I worked. It was like over maybe 45 minutes to get home from where I worked. And so as I'm driving, I begin to feel like so much pain, like a whole bunch of pain. So I'm like, okay, I can't drive. It was so much pain that I had to pull over and stop the car, and I called my husband, and I'm like, babe, listen, I'm in so much pain. I begin to tell him the symptoms that I'm having. I'm like, I'm pulled over right now, and I don't even think I could drive home. That's how much pain I was in. And it's probably because I cannot take pain like that much. I just can't. But I had to pull over. He was like, well, do you want me to come get you? I'm like, no, because then we're going to have 2 cars. That's going to be too much having people come get my car. And it was just too much. So I said, no, I'm just pull over for a minute. So he stayed on the phone. And then he was like, well, you know, are you able to drive home? And I was like, well, yeah. So then I finally got up, was able to drive the car on home. I finally get home, and it was me and my cousin-in-law that was at the house. Evate, he was at work, and so he got home from work, and she was telling me, you know, I don't know, I think you should go to the hospital. You're not looking too good. So I'm like, well, I really don't like hospitals, but the way I'm feeling, I might have to go. So then when I went to the restroom, I seen that it was some discharge, some brown spotting there, and I didn't know what that was. No cycle, so like whatever. But it was brown spotting, and so I was like, okay, well now I need to go to the hospital. So after looking up on the internet, they're like, no, you need to go to the hospital. You know, if you look up on Google, when you have a sickness or any illness, I swear Google will have you thinking you are near death. Don't read Google when you are dealing with a sickness. I'm telling you, it'll have you just in a panic mode. I don't know about y'all, but I was in a panic mode. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting ready to die. Okay, so I went to the hospital, and y'all, I hate needles. Like, I absolutely hate needles. And I went to the hospital, and this is my first time ever in life getting my blood drawn. So they like, the nurse come in, and she's like, you know, what's the symptoms that you're having? Cramping, spotting, you know, blah 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 blah, back pains, you know, I'm irritated, all this other stuff. So she said, okay, well, we're gonna take your blood. So I'm like, okay, not knowing what that meant, y'all. They done took my blood. I done passed out in the hospital. I passed out. And my cousin-in-law and my husband was there at the time, and my mom was on her way, and my sister was on her way too. Y'all, they said they didn't know what to do. They caught them off guard because I just passed out. And they panicked. It was crazy. When I got up, they told me, and they was like, no, we can't do this anymore because you passed out on us. And I was like, well, I didn't know I was going to pass out. I didn't, like, the blood drawn thing, oh my God, I hate it. You can give me a shot. I'll take a shot over anything. But blood drawn, no, it's not for me. And so, sure enough, after checking me, after they actually wake me up, then my mom and my sister made it there. And so I'm looking at my husband's face, and he's looking at me crazy because I done passed out. So he don't want me to pass out again. He don't want me to freak out. But I'm sitting in the hospital bed, and finally they would check me in, and I'm sitting in the hospital bed. And as I'm sitting there, you know, she's doing the ultrasound, you know, trying to find the baby, and she says, well, you know, your hormone levels, and you know, the test says you're pregnant, but we can't see the baby yet. Well, we can't see the babies anymore yet because she said they might be so little. And so I'm like, okay. She said, but I'll wait for the doctor to, you know, come in. So as the doctor come in, he's like, oh, well, you are miscarrying with the babies. And he just stared at me. Because I said, okay. I responded with, okay. And he just stared at me. And I'm like, you know, what are you staring at? He's like, okay, how do you feel? And I'm like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. And he said, you're not dealing with it. You have to deal with, you're in denial that you're having a miscarriage. And I was looking, me and my husband, my mom was confused on what he was talking about. Like, I'm not in denial. Here was my thing with the whole entire thing. I felt blessed because, you know, people have different stories when it comes to pregnancy. They have to get surgery, they have to get this. But I'm laying in the hospital bed miscarrying, but I'm able to reproduce again. And so I didn't feel like getting sad was, you know, something that I would do right at that moment. I was glad that I'm healthy and I'm able to have another baby, you know. That was my thing. And so he was like Dr. Rude. Like, I didn't understand his whole thing. Like, you're in denial. I'm like, no, I'm not in denial. It's just like, I'm okay because I'm able to reproduce. I'm able to have another baby, and there's hope. So as long as you ain't saying that I can't have no more kids, then no, I'm not gonna sit here and be bawling my eyes out, ripping off sheets from the bed and punching walls because I'm able to have another baby. It might not have been that time, and I understood that everything happens for a reason. And so even though it didn't happen at that time, it was gonna happen again. So after having that miscarriage, it was, 30 days later, literally, and I'm feeling pregnant. I'm feeling the same symptoms of pregnancy. I'm feeling like I'm nauseous, I'm hungry, I'm tired, sore. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, babe, I think I might be pregnant because I'm dealing with the same symptoms. But then I'm like, here I go again looking on Google, and Google said, it could be just the hormones still in your body. So I'm like, okay, hey, I'm not pregnant. It took a pregnancy test, it says pregnant. I'm thinking, hey, it's still from the miscarriage with the twins. So I bring my husband a pregnancy test, and I'm like, hey, I'm pregnant. I don't know for sure because I think it's just the hormones that are still in my body, but I think I'm pregnant because I'm still having them symptoms. And what I craved was these Greek salads from Panera Bread, and I ate them every day for, I want to say, like up to like 2 or 3 weeks. I was eating those salads in the morning and at night. That's all I wanted was those Greek salads. That's all I wanted. And my husband kept giving me the Greek salads. And finally, I made an appointment with the doctor, and sure enough, I was pregnant with our son. And so, a lot of people say, sometimes after miscarriages, it don't happen as soon. For me, it happened literally 30 days later. So, for you guys that are having a miscarriage now, and it can happen fast and it can happen later, okay? I'm a witness that it can happen fast. And so after I had my son, of course, he turns 2, and so we said we're gonna have kids every 2 years, keep them close and be done while they're young, and we can travel when, later. So as my son get older, we're like, okay, we want to have another baby, to give him another sibling to play with. Well, in between that time, I had experienced, miscarriages again, and this next time I was actually at school. And so I'm in the lab, and I'm sitting there, and I'm here, same thing, I'm leaning over the counter because I'm doing work, and my teacher's looking at me. He's like, are you feeling okay? Because I'm up, and then all of a sudden I'm just like boom, and I'm like feeling crappy, and I'm just, it was horrible. So I'm leaning over the thing, and as soon as I lean, I just feel like a pop, and I'm like, oh my God. And so I go find out, yes, I'm spotting yet again, that's another miscarriage. And so again, after miscarrying that baby, I had another miscarriage. And so it was the same symptoms happening over and over again, and I didn't understand why I was miscarrying. And then I talked to my doctor, and I work around a lot of chemicals, and then when I'm in a laboratory, I'm around a lot of chemicals, and they were saying I'm around a lot of dangerous chemicals that were affecting my reproductive system. And so my idea, when I told my husband, our mindset was that we were going to wait until I finished school before having a second child, because I was miscarrying, and it just wasn't working. It was too much on my body, and just trying to heal after the miscarriages, it was just way too much. And so we said we were going to wait. Now this is a week before me and my husband are talking, saying we're going to wait. The next week I find out I'm pregnant, and this time it's with Zariah. And so I'm still in the same boat. I'm saying, am I pregnant or is this from the hormones, you know, before? And I had experienced a lot of miscarriage. I'm just giving you guys the core miscarriages, okay? And so I'm like, well, am I pregnant again? I don't think I am. So I waited, you know, this time. I didn't find out really, and I was pregnant with Zariah until I was like 9.5, maybe 10 weeks. And I know this is sad, but I didn't know because I had just experienced a miscarriage, and I'm thinking same symptoms. And I didn't find out until I was like 9 weeks, 9.5 weeks with Zariah that I was pregnant. And so for you guys out there, it's okay if you're having a miscarriage right now. It's gonna happen in due time. Don't worry. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. It's just a process, and it might not be your moment then, but your moment is gonna come. You just gotta wait for it. Okay, guys? So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like it. Give it the thumbs up. Comment down below any more videos you guys want me to do. I'm reading them. I will get to them. And that's it, guys. I'll see ya. Peace.
I'ma go get it tonight.